We are here today, day 2, working on the golf cart, and today we are going to be going through the Nightlight golf cart LED light strip kit. There are 6 light strips. I believe there are 4 different sizes of strips that will mount throughout, and then we need to connect those up to the battery. Not entirely sure how this is going to go. I've never done it. It does have, for the 6 strips, we've got 6 connectors, and then we've got a fuse of some kind in here, and then we're going to be connecting up to the terminals for that. I will do the terminals on the video. We'll mount a couple of these, but the reality is those are all largely the same. Once you put one up, you put them all up. To help move things along, I sped the video up just to make sure that I could get through this in a reasonable amount of time. I spent a couple hours working on this, mainly because I had never done it before. Took the seat off and I start looking around, making sure that I have all the tools I need. I've got terminals that I need to take off on the battery terminals, the screws, made sure I got the right 14 millimeter wrench. And now I'm laying out the light strips, make sure that I put them in the spots that I want them, make sure that I have an idea of where they go, how I want to lay them out. They weren't all the same size, so I had to pay attention, double check sizing here, make sure that it'll fit. I had some complications that one was actually longer than the space I had. Need to make sure that I wanted to put it in the right spot. Checking to see if this will fit and where I want to put that on the back. Hadn't considered having that extra space, but finally decided to put it underneath the seat in a spot that could shine without blinding the person behind us if we were driving down the road at night. It's never fun to have blinding LED lights coming at you. Got that mounted. They're just sticky right now. Nothing spectacular or different. Just running the sticky. Taking a look at how this mounts on the ceiling. Ended up deciding, I should probably go clean this. So I went and got some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol, and I'm cleaning those just to make sure that they get the best adherence. These are just sticky, but I'd like them to last a season or two. So no better time than when you're putting them up to go get that, clean it up. The red sticky backing is what's there. This one went on nice and easy and didn't have any uncurling issues. And then I'm mounting the wire that comes from it. I'm running it down the post, and everything's going into that trunk area underneath the back seat. Doing the same thing on the other side. Pulling off that strip as I go just to make life easy for myself. Go ahead and grab a drink of soda, go back to it, running that wire down the back post. I'll take it across the back and into that trunk space. In that trunk space, I've got everything connected up again to where there's a octopus, if you will, set of arms that are split out that you connect all of the LED lights to. That's where I'm heading with all of these wires, is they're headed back there. Next up, we've got the side mount under the frame. Got to make sure that it'll fit, figure that out. It is longer than the bottom flat, so how is this going to round up? How is the curvature of the lights that had been coiled up in the box, how was that going to impact how I was wanting to mount these? Got to go back and clean that up, make sure that it's got a nice mounting surface to stick to. And then go back to pulling off the red backer slowly. That way, as it stays curled up around me and it's not getting stuck to my shirt, it's not getting less sticky as we go. I want it to be as sticky as possible for as long as possible. Then I'm feeding those up through the battery compartment and up the seat back, out to the back. Jump clips real quick. I have a 30-minute time limit on how I was recording this, so I hit that timer, and then by the time I realized it, I missed a couple minutes there, but that'll be okay. Headed to the back where I am cleaning up where I want to mount this. It is going to be facing up towards the roof, and figure this will just illuminate the kids a little bit better when there's somebody looking back or sitting back there looking backwards. They can help make people see what's going on, and it'll be fun. It's all fun. Connecting up the cables back there, seating them in the connections. They're nice connectors. They only go one way. You can't mess it up. Very nice in that aspect. Making sure everything's routed properly. Then I'm bringing the wire that is going to connect up to the battery terminals forward, running that into the battery compartment. It's a long cable. You can run it from the front to the back. I actually have a strong feeling that's how it's designed to be, so that you can attach it to the ignition so that it'll respect whether the ignition's on or off. But I didn't do that, and that's okay. I needed it in the back because that's where the kids are going to be. I have connected up all of the lights. We've put them up around. There's some underneath there. There's stuff up underneath the canopy. I've got one underneath the seat, and then I've got one pointing up here as well. I tried to get one underneath the front up here where I was replacing the front suspension. The cables aren't long enough, and I didn't want to futz with all that. It certainly would be cool, but it's not needed. So next up, what we have is working on connecting up the electrical. I've brought the cables over here. We've got a black and a red. We're going to connect them up to the batteries. Now that we've got our camera set up, we've got light on the situation, I am going to connect up to the red terminal and a black terminal, same ones that we've done before. We're just going to keep going. Now, supposedly, I should be able to use a 9/16 and get that to work, but it doesn't fit as nicely as a 14 millimeter, so just going to use a 14 millimeter here. We'll go ahead and speed this up as well. No need for everybody to spend all that time watching me tighten, loosen the terminals on there and make sure that everything's seated properly. Just making sure I have good connections for those wires. Now that we've got that situated, I have the remote in here somewhere. Here we go. Given the way I've got it set up right now, I am not connected to the ignition, so the lights can be on even without anything, the ignition being on or anything, which can be a little dangerous for running down the batteries. However, right now I have younger kids that aren't able to drive this without me, and I am a responsible adult. Hopefully that means I won't forget them on. There's also an app that allows you to control these as well, which can be super helpful. There is all sorts of controls that you can do. Brightness controls, music, white light, red, blue, green. I assume you can change all sorts of other things, including auto and all sorts of fun. So nothing crazy. All of these are sticky is what I did. I didn't mount any of them with the screws. I didn't want to punch any more holes than need be. And the connections here are all DC, so you can touch the terminals. Still want to be careful, still want to make sure that we're being safe, but it is DC, not AC. What else do we have? I will go ahead and clean some of this up. I kept the tie from over here, and I will make sure that I button up the stuff behind there in the well so that I can keep things organized. But other than that, this is looking great. Last little bit here showing off the lights. We're going to speed it up again, just make sure everything goes smoothly. Spending your time wisely here. I'm finishing connecting that up, running the cables, connecting those, making sure that they're secured, and then cleaning stuff up. I'm going to finish by putting that seat back on, closing up shop. Hope this video was informative for everybody and gotten a chance to see how I installed the lights on my golf cart.